What is going on? Welcome back to Financial Journey. So today we're going to talk to you about Lucid, give you a quick overview of some of the current data points and what Lucid really needs to focus on in the foreseeable future over and above the gravity. Before I get into any of that, make sure to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. I always greatly appreciate that. And with that said, let's get right to it. So right now, Lucid is down 3.15%. No specific news related to Lucid, no SEC filings, nothing along those lines. Just a lot of the broader, bigger names in the market are kind of just overdone based on the technicals. So there's just a lot of volatility in the market today. And so as well, profit taking, a lot of stocks have ran up pretty significantly. But for the market being open about 2.5 hours so far, 8.6 million shares have been traded, 28.6 is the average. So bigger institutions aren't necessarily buying into Lucid today. And you can kind of match that and see that right here. So only one transaction did occur on the secondary market so far, and a small handful on the dark pool. Dark pool linked to shorting. Shorts right now are increasing 1.22 million shares. 27.52% of the free float is being shorted. So it is starting to kind of go back up minorly. Of course, you can kind of see based on this chart, ever since it was about 31.5%, it has gone down quite a lot, but it is starting to kind of inch back up. So again, something to kind of monitor. Utilization is at 100% and cost to borrow average is 34.9%. As I've stated in the past, Lucid could be a short squeeze play. The only thing that they need is a catalyst. And in my opinion, I feel like Lucid does need to do something right now, and that's over and above the gravity, especially considering in the market, anything with AI or associated to AI is just skyrocketing. So essentially, Lucid does have something that is in relation to AI that they could really push, and that is ESS. So when it comes down to this article that came out in 2021, it says energy storage business could earn 22.8 billion for Lucid Motors by 2030. And that is very true. And so early part of 2022, we did have some updates from Lucid that they were working on a prototype number 2. And clearly one of their least, additions to their land was associated to ESS. Just later part in the year, because of them burning through quite a lot of cash, no doubtably, this is why they said that we're going to be, for the foreseeable future, stopping to look at ESS. And investors just took that and said, okay, fine, whatever. And it wasn't until recently when Peter did say during that 3-way chat or 4-way chat that they had in Geneva about ESS. So that was the first time that Peter actually referred to ESS in the last year and a half. And so when it comes down to ESS, even in among itself, that sector is estimated to reach 11 billion by 2026. And I'm sure a lot of the bigger names in that sector do not have the PIF behind them, because one thing I've really pointed out is Saudi Arabia has been really boosting its infrastructure, and they have stated that they're going to have strong capabilities for ESS. So once again, it kind of makes sense logically. Like Lucid has been working on prototypes. They have the Wonder Box, which technically does work in comparison to ESS and is a very good full-on package. So the fact that Lucid has not really stated or done anything about this, I feel like is one massive missed opportunity. And plus, like I said, if they come out and say, hey, you know what, because we're going to be focusing on ESS and we have this AI tech that's going to help in association to that, Lucid stock will just have a new multiple on it, a higher multiple, and cause it to go up significantly from here. So in my opinion, that might be far-fetched, but right now the market is just wanting Lucid to come out with something, and that is why institutions probably aren't really buying it. So it's very unfortunate, but it is what it is. So hopefully Lucid does come out with that, because right now, based on the technicals, I've pointed this out in the past, it is pointing to Lucid kind of hitting the low 2s, despite it having a nice bump up over the last several days. So you can kind of see based on the Elliott wave technicals, it does have $3.15 as a strong pivot. And for as long as Lucid is below that, which right now it is anticipated to hit the high 1s or low 2s, as you can kind of see at the top left right there. So let me know your thoughts on that if you think it's realistic. Obviously, while I'm on here, there has been no recent analyst ratings or anything along those lines. So the last one was done 15 days ago. But beside the point though, when it comes to options, let's talk about that. $190,000 in calls being purchased versus 96,000 in puts. So sentiment wise though, 52% of all the options being done today are optimistic. But then again, when it comes down to shorts increasing their position, a lot of the time they do hedge with call options. So sometimes sometimes this is misleading when shorts are increasing. So something to kind of consider. Of the call options that are being purchased, there's a consensus for it to be above $3 by the end of next week. Aside from that, not much optimism. And then looking at puts, you do see very little being done. So looks like more of a consensus for it to be sub 250. So still kind of in a middle ground right now. As far as this goes, so with it at $2.75, it is trading between this S2 and this S1. So far this S2 has held, so 272, but you'll want to watch for that in the next couple of trading days going into next week, and then vice versa, $2.97. So even though Lucid has shown a lot of good strength over the last couple trading days, with the exception of today, of course, it has failed to touch this S1. So something to kind of consider. But all in all, with the technicals right now, you do see a nice bullish deviation, so white line above the red, but it is considered still oversold with it being at 23. On the actual chart though, it seems to have failed to get past a strong resistance point and kind of imaginary one. So it's just lack of buyers does skew sometimes a lot of the indicators. So right now it looks like it's just consolidating. As long as it doesn't consolidate lower than around 260, then it should be all right. But if it does trend below that, then this is where that Elliott Wave Technicals prediction could come to realization, as unfortunate as that is. Retail hasn't been doing all that much, so you do see just retail stabilizing and just maintaining their position. So you kind of have big money not really getting into Lucid, and retail just sitting back and waiting for Lucid to do something. So I feel like a lot of people just want to shake Peter, be like, hey, come on, man, do something. Like, put out gravity. Or if you ask me, I would have asked a question as far as ESS. I've been, especially during the last earnings, I kept saying, come on guys, please just ask a question for ESS, because unfortunately, because of how it has been, it doesn't allow Canadians to post questions. So that's kind of the crappy thing. But beside the point, I was begging, I want updates for the ESS, because imagine having this on your books by 2030, 22 billion. That would be magnificent. And the margins on AI and ESS are massive. So that would really help Lucid's profitability. And beside the point, you can even see based on their growth, like things aren't really looking all that good. Their future revenue is looking optimistic in comparison to the broader sector, but their capex and just every other metrics is looking subpar. So once again, this is what exactly analysts do look at behind the scenes. So let me know your thoughts on Lucid. What do you think about ESS, or is there something else that they should be focusing on to generate revenue and kind of just help the stock price? So what's your thoughts? Don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. One final thing, make sure you guys take advantage of this promo. As I've been sharing with you, like, you might as well take advantage to get some free shares. So you get 5 free shares, just deposit $100 in a new account with Moomoo. Link in the description below and also the comments. With all that, appreciate all of you watching.